In this video, we're going to talk about why you should be working at 343, or rather, why fans know exactly what 343 needs. We're going to break down some interesting fan content that could be amazing when applied to Halo. So there's a lot we got to talk about, but go to the GameLeap website right now if you want to quickly climb the ranks, learning the skills to dominate with aim drills, map guides, VOD reviews, and so much more. Do yourself a favor and go check it out right now down below. Now, there's a lot of things wrong with Halo Infinite. We've talked about that so much. However, there are some things that people just haven't talked about that much, even though, in my opinion, they're super integral to what makes Halo feel so good to play. And the match lobby was always one of the biggest ones for me. One of my favorite aspects of Halo 3 is I could play that game completely by myself for a couple of days, and I would end up with a whole bunch of buddies that I could play with indefinitely because of how easy it was to play with someone, do well, or just have a fun time, and then invite them back to play with you, which is something that is very difficult to do in the current freaking Halo system. In addition to that, you can never talk to your enemies either. I've met people that we trash talked the hell out of each other back in Halo 3, and we ended up becoming like people that would play together probably 5 times a week for like 3 goddamn years. And the frustrating aspect of that is if you just stole what already was part of Halo, like that lobby system, those things that already existed, and you just copy and pasted those aspects into Halo Infinite, everyone would have been happy. But instead, they redesigned everything to make it feel like a goddamn mobile game UI, and it just looks completely just unnecessary. It doesn't work seamlessly, and you know, to better emphasize my point, I actually was browsing Reddit and someone called Zenkai Goose completely redesigned the Halo Infinite's UI just as fan content, and I want to play this right here in the background. Look at how crisp and smooth this looks. You get to see the looking for players on the right. You get to hover over people's profiles and see how they did the campaign, what their rank is, how many games they played, their like emblem and name. You get to vote for the map on the left side. When you lock it to a map, you get to see the map overhead and you get to see both teams. Everyone could talk to one another. Everyone could add each other easily or mute each other easily. There's so much good stuff about this, and this is very similar to how it was back in Halo 3. This is literally just an elevation of that, and instead, with Halo Infinite, we got a straight up departure, and I have no idea why that is. Why do you take something that is not only not broke, is good, and then you try to change it or fix it for no reason? No idea, don't understand at all. But I really think that's like the ongoing theme right now with Halo Infinite, is that there's a lot of things that they do incredibly right with Halo, and they don't take crazy amounts of risk with a lot of the stuff that they do right. They just have a natural evolution of it, right? You're adding in sprint, it's not too crazy. You added movement, it's not too crazy. You added these weapons that are very similar to past weapons, maps that are nice and well thought out, but they don't break the mold or anything like that. They take what already worked and what was already good and they add on top of it. But every place that Halo Infinite fails is where there's a huge departure from its roots, a huge departure. It's trying to be something completely different. I think their most ambitious thing in Halo Infinite probably has to be the campaign, the open world campaign. And that was really good and very well made, but I also would like to see them rely on all of the things and all of the things that they should have learned, you know, since they get to look back. I know that 343 hasn't been part of Halo since the beginning, of course, but they do get to look back at every single Halo, look at what worked, look at what doesn't work, and I think that there's tons of things that would just, you know, slot right in to the new Halo. You don't have to reinvent every fucking wheel. But David, let me know how you feel about all this. What is some of those really annoying changes that you think Halo Infinite needs to fix? And I'm not talking about changes that would fundamentally fix the game. I'm talking about changes that just personally annoy you, that might be minuscule, but they're enough to really grind your gears. Definitely let me know down below. And while you're there, the GameLeap website is the best place to pop off and grind with in-depth guides, tips and tricks, VOD reviews, map guides, and so much more. If you really want to get better at Halo Infinite or any FPS, do yourself a favor and go check it out right now down below.